Hey YouTube, thank you so much for watching The Perspective. Subscribe, like, and comment on this video for more content. So I want to share this clip with you of Mitt Romney at I think it was at a state convention, and he was booed on stage, and the booing was loud and long and hard.
Now, you know me as a person who says what he thinks, and I don't hide the fact that I wasn't a fan of our last president's character issues. And I'm also no fan. Aren't you embarrassed? And I'm also no fan of the president's... Yeah, sure.
My friends, this is the moment I was talking about. Please, thank you, show respect.
Okay, so that is wild. Mitt Romney was nominated by Republicans in 2012. So this is their nominee before Trump. Now he's being booed at a state convention. Like, I understand that both of the parties have division in them. I mean, if you look at the Democrats, there's a division between the more left-wing part of the party, which is Bernie Sanders, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Elizabeth Warren, and the more center-left Democrats like Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama. You look at the division there, but I think other than in 2016, when Bernie Sanders was kind of, cheated a little bit, there hasn't really been like blatant signs of this major division. I couldn't imagine Barack Obama, who was the former Democrat nominee, going and speaking in front of a bunch of progressives and being booed off stage. I don't think that would happen. But if you look at this division is so deep between the Republican Party and what the Republican Party will be, that their prior nominee does not have respect. They look at him as the end of George Bush, who was the nominee before that, has been speaking out against Trump a lot. And Fox News has pretty much thrown George Bush under the bus. And if you look at the comments under the videos that Fox News has of George Bush, the viewers, the Republican base, are all sick of him. This division, I believe that it's not just cultural. I believe that it's also based in policy. Now, Donald Trump did pretty much keep up with the conservative kind of policy orientation when he was in office. He didn't really divert from it too much. But I think in 2016, when he was running for office, his language and the things that he was saying that he wanted to do was much different than the way that he actually governed. And I think that language in 2016 was what the new Republican base wants, this Trump base wants. They want those policies. Extreme restrictions on immigration. But I think that this Trump base wants restrictions on legal immigration as well. So not just illegal immigration and strong border control. I think they want legal immigration restricted as well. So when Donald Trump said that he wanted to shut down on Muslims coming into the country, when he said that he wanted to deport a lot of people, all of that was stuff that this Republican base, this Trump base supports. And I don't think this is all Republicans, but I think it's a pretty good chunk of them that it could seriously influence and change who's going to be the Republican nominee in 2024. And that's what I'm really interested in seeing. Who runs in 2024 and what policies are adhered to. Another thing that I think is changing is the free market. I don't think this new Republican Trump base supports an unfettered free market like the traditional neoconservative wing supported. I think they want more restrictions on trade, trust busting. So big companies, I think they want to see those big companies, the government come down hard on those big companies. An anti-globalist kind of thing. And that includes war. I don't think that this new Republican base is as pro-war as the neoconservatives before. I agree with that, less war, but I disagree with a lot of their other policies. So I think this new Republican base looks more like Tucker Carlson, Josh Hawley, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I think is more on the fringe parts in some of her beliefs. But I do think that she more represents the Republican base than someone like Liz Cheney or Mitt Romney. I don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene would have gotten booed at that convention. I don't think that she would have. I also think that this new Republican base is not totally opposed to all government programs. I think that they're okay with Social Security, with Medicaid care. I think that they actually want those programs strengthened, which is totally different from the neoconservative ideology, which in language, in rhetoric, it didn't always translate this way in policy, but in rhetoric and on paper was opposed to more government spending and wanted more of a free market approach. I think that it boils down to right-wing populism, nationalism, and paleoconservatism versus neoconservatism, constitutional conservatism. What I would like to see the Republican Party become, and what I think that it could have the potential to become, I mean, now it seems like it's going further away from that, but I would like to see it to be a party of limited government and actually do that when they're in office, cut spending, federalism, where, you know, the balance of powers between the states and the federal government is respected, where the federal government does not try to get and manipulate the states to do what it wants them to do, but it respects the balance of power. And most issues are handled at the local and state level. I also would like to see them, which I think they're embracing this part, but less interventionism in other countries. No wars that don't concern us, don't pose an imminent national security threat. I would like to see them embrace that, which I think they're embracing that more, but at the expense of a lot of other things. Decentralization and checks and balances. So the, judicial branch, the legislative branch, and the executive branch all check and balance each other appropriately. I mean, I don't like that the executive branch just goes to war whenever it feels like it without getting approval from Congress. I think that is not constitutional, nor do I think that makes us safer or is good. Free markets and free trade. I want to see them actually really embrace this concept and not delve into cronyism where we have, these bailouts and subsidies for various businesses, which the neoconservative wing, they gave bailouts and subsidies, but they were more pro-free market than I think this new conservative base is gonna be. So yeah, I think that that's what it comes down to. I think that it comes down to this new battle, and we'll see what happens in 2024.